Welcome back to another video. So today what we're doing is more work on the Lancer. I have been in here for a couple of hours and I've decided to pull all the stereo stuff out, and I've started to disconnect some of this wiring. So I've cleaned up a little bit in here, a little bit in there, and I haven't even started over there, but I do want to clean that up. Just pulling this sort of, I think that's a stereo booster thing. So yeah, we're just sort of plotting along with it. I did find another axle for this thing, but it's an Evo 7 axle and the spline into the hub won't fit. I thought I measured it right, but I've measured it wrong. So I've ordered more parts for this, which is a bit of a pain in the ass, but got to do what we got to do. It's still a little bit to tidy up in the engine bay, but what I'm going to do today mainly is try and sort this dash out. So I have spoken to someone about getting a dash from the wreckers, but it's a bit of a pain because you'll have to go down there, pull it out of that car and all that sort of stuff. So what I'm going to do just for now, because this is a bit of a budget build, is we're going to continue to just try and fix this one. Obviously someone's cut a little, I imagine gauges or something was in there, and it has a lot of the foam left on it. So I've bought some interior paint. I've started masking it, so I'm just going to paint it black. I'm going to try and glue all this sort of stuff down. I'm going to cover this up with a bit of sheet of alloy and just try and save this thing as much as we can, because if I can get that back in it, it'll start to look like a car again. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to start painting that and then hopefully get it back in the car. And I've got my brother here, Harry, so he's going to give me a hand. He was just servicing his new Hilux here. So yeah, that's the plan for today. Paint that, try and get it in the car. So the first thing I've started making is just this little aluminium plate that's going to block off this hole. So what I am hoping is going to happen is if I just tech screw that down, and basically we're going to paint the whole dash. So you won't really notice this, but it's going to be quite good because I can put like boost oil pressure and water temp gauges in there. So that's the plan for now, because it's just going to hide a lot of these rips. So we've got the dash painted. It's still a little bit tacky, but what I'm going to do, I've made this aluminium plate up, and that's just going to sit just over here like that. We're going to use this, because it's been cut out, we're going to use this as a gauge section, and then the passenger can read out all the gauges to me, which is pretty pointless. Right, so I've got that screwed on, so I'll probably end up tidying that up a little bit, but the dash actually doesn't look too bad as it is, and I can always get a dash mat to hide it. It's just going to be a pain in the ass to go and find a wrecked one and then pull one out of it. So it's just about ready to go back in, but I am just going to quickly tidy up as much wiring as I can here and just pull these controllers out, and then me and my brother are going to put the center console in, and we're going to put the dash in. Alright, so we've pulled out all this old Gretty stuff. The only reason I'm pulling that out is because you probably can't buy just the gauge and then just plug it in. So we're going to sort of update everything in here. So all that's out. The alarm system is staying in because I have no idea how to unwire that. But yeah, the rest of it, I've crimped everything off and tidied everything up. So the next step is to just get the dash in, and then we can start tidying it all up and tucking it up underneath. Alright guys, so we got the dash in, she's all secure, and we've got the instrument panel in, and we also put the surround around that. So now it's just a case of putting the glove box in. So we've got to put the climate control back in up here, and put the covers on around the bottom here, and then just tuck all the wire up, and then the two center consoles can go in, and then we're done for the day. And also I might quickly I bought in the other steering wheel I've got to put on this, so I might, if it fits this pattern, I'll quickly throw that on. And yeah, so we're going to keep going. Alright guys, so we managed to get everything in that we needed to. Harry's managed to fit the steering wheel. We'll still have to clock it a little bit because the bolt pattern was tiny bit different, but it's still the same boss kit that came with the car. Obviously there's a big alloy plate there. So what I'm going to do, because of all this sort of imperfect stuff, we're just going to get a dash mat over the top of it, which I assume might cover this. It might not, but I'll just have to wait and see. Can obviously do a lot with this sort of section and make it look a lot cleaner. But all the center console parts are in. I need to get just a little, what do they call that? A shifter, a shift boot, just to cover that linkage in there. So I think it all looks pretty good. So still got to get 2 door cards, one on each side, and still got to figure out whether we want to delete this roof liner, and also get either 2 standard seats or 2 like sort of black looking maybe bucket seats or something like that, because these are grotty if you can't see all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. The back's probably just going to get a wipe down and stay a little bit like that, a little bit race car style. So yeah, all in all, I think did a good job. Like, tidied up a lot of the wires down there. Me and Harry did. The alarm system still in, which I'll have to test to make sure that that actually works. Someone's done some really big scrapes there. The boot doesn't close. Oh yeah, and all this came with it. So I was thinking about using these tail lights. So they're like a black insert instead of a white insert, but what I'll do is tint them and just have them fully black. And I also want to get an exhaust system because the thing's so quiet. I think that just needs adjusting, Harry. Some of it just needs adjusting. You just have to play around with it. There is some step-ins in here too. And what are they? Mud flaps. What's that? Oh, I just painted that. I could have just used that, so there you go. Yeah, so I mean that needs to go on too. Depends how far you want to go with it. Like, the only reason I put that the old dash back in here is because pretty much I want to get this running. Like, I'm having a lot of trouble finding that axle, so I want to get this running, driving, and boosting properly before we start going and spending any sort of time and money on it. So all this imperfection stuff here, the paint peel and all that, that'll have to wait until we get it up and running. But yeah, normally in these boot lids, there's actually a number plate section cut into that, and somebody's actually either replaced the boot with a different boot, or they've actually bogged over it, or not bogged, I should say, welded a plate in and then bogged it. So that's pretty cool, I guess. But all right, so I think that's just about it for today. It's not a very long video and it's not a very detailed one. We didn't film a lot because, I mean, most of it's just painting and then tedious little screws that go in the bottom and all that sort of stuff in the dash. So sorry for not filming a lot today, but look forward to more videos on this. Hopefully next video we'll be sorting that out and getting some seats in it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time.